I had absolutely no idea whatsoever what host supported meant. I didn't have the foggiest idea, and that's where I was. Host support, well, that's good. What happens? Well, all I knew was that we had to deliver our jam to the supermarkets, and the supermarkets would have had labels printed for it, and we had to convince each individual supermarket to stock the product. Well, off we went and did that, and that worked. We went to right around the South Island and convinced supermarkets to take the jam, and then we thought, well, how are we going to distribute it? And so we bought a Ford Trader van, and we bought a small about 12-foot, 13-foot caravan that was fully set up with a toilet and its own water and cooking facilities and shower and everything else like that. And my brother happened not to be working at the time in Christchurch, so we employed him. And what he did is that he'd drive to Nelson from Christchurch 1 week, load the truck up with raspberry jam, and back down to Christchurch, calling it Blenheim on the way down and various other stores, and get back to Christchurch and then go around the Christchurch shops and supply them in that first week. And then the second week he would hook up the trailer and hightail it right around the South Island, delivering to all the supermarkets, and that's how we got going. That was our first marketing system that we put in place. Around about this time, we did approach Progressive, Tim Hamilton in Christchurch, and he said send us some samples. So we sent him some samples down and in his office, and it was when we'd just bought the Ford Trader and the caravan, and Kay and I decided that we would go first up. We would go right around all the supermarkets in the South Island and introduce the jam and tell them that it was there, the food stuff one, it was there to be host supported. So off we went doing this, and we saw some of the Progressive supermarkets, and I thought, well, hang on a minute, Tim Hamilton is looking at this product and he's going to decide whether they're going to stock it or not. If they stock it, well, then we're going to have to do another trip. So I'll just pop in and see the managers of the Progressive supermarkets, tell them that Tim Hamilton is looking at it, and that you know, if he decides to stock it, it'll be there. And here's some samples for you to try and see what it is and where the people that are doing it. And tell them, well, that's what we did. Off we went down the west coast and down through to Invercargill, and we were coming back up the east coast to the South Island. And by the time we got to Invercargill, there was an urgent phone call from our daughter in Nelson, who was holding the fort and running everything. And she said, oh, Tim Hamilton phoned. He's very, very upset. He's saying that he's going to decide whether the jam goes into the supermarkets, not his supermarket managers all over the South Island. And what had happened, of course, they'd got the jam, tried it, phoned him and says, hey, we want this jam in our supermarket. You need to stock this product. And, you know, I wasn't my intention to put that pressure on him, but it was a damn good idea. It worked. Well, maybe it did, but anyway, by the time we got back to, I apologised. I was sorry, Tim, but you know that we didn't intend to usurp your authority in any way. But so we got back to Christchurch and went to see Tim, and he said to us, "Look, I don't know why, because it's against all our principles. One supplier with one product, and you know, but I'm going to give it a trial in South City in Northlands." Countdowns in Christchurch. I knew as soon as he did that he would never be able to take it out again, because of the demand from the public would be such that he would have to keep stocking it. And of course that's what happened. We went in with a trial in those two supermarkets. It just sold like hot cakes, and it was no time before it was on the shelf and it was being supplied to all the Countdown supermarkets throughout the South Island. So there you go, that's how you start, you get your products into the supermarkets. I've told one or two people to do that, and it still seems to work fine. What you have to be sure of, though, is that your product will sell. And there were a few things that we had. We'd gone to the flea markets and we'd established quite a substantial market throughout the South Island before we put the product into the supermarkets. And there were people that were on the mail order saying to us, well, why don't you sell it through the supermarkets? We want to buy it through the supermarkets. And so at the time that we approached the supermarkets, or for a wee while beforehand, we'd written to all our customers saying, look, take a bottle along to your local supermarket and say, these people are going to sell this jam through the supermarket. You know, you need to get it. I'll buy it if you put it in your supermarket. And of course, that was a new thing that I don't think it happened very much to supermarkets. Customers coming to them saying, here's a product that I buy, and I'll buy through your supermarket if you stock it. So that was one of the other things that, you know, I had a few good ideas that worked. So there you go, that's the plan. Now what we backed that up with was a determination to maintain high quality. We ensured that our highest priority was quality, second highest priority was efficiency, and then somewhere down there after that came making money and profit and all the other stuff that you need to deal with. And whenever I made a decision, I always applied those priorities, so that I never made a decision to increase efficiency that compromised the quality. I never made a decision to increase profitability that compromised efficiency and quality. But I did in some cases do things that increased the quality that made it perhaps a little bit less efficient. And I had to increase my efficiency without compromising my quality. I had to increase my profitability without compromising the efficiency and without compromising the quality. And so that aided me greatly in the decisions and choices that I made as I set up the business and I set up the factories to increase the production and everything else like that.